This is Mark Cook for Kitplanes magazine. It's a rainy day here in the Portland area, and I'm about to pull this O320 out because I'm powering up. There's an IO340 on its way from Mobile, Alabama, going to go on the nose of this bad boy. Why? Because power. And I know this is good because I just got back from flying the NX Cub from Cub Crafters.
But really it's all about the climb performance and the climb deck angle, where the thing easily makes 2,000 feet a minute in the initial climb. And that extra power and that big propeller up front really show themselves.
She has 215 horsepower on the nose, a big wing, a ton of fun, and get this, a nose wheel. And it's cool. Check it out. So Cub Crafters really built the NX Cub out of the X Cub. So the changes are actually fairly minimal firewall aft. It actually has a slightly different arrangement so that you can move the main gear either forward or back if you want to have a tail dragger or a nose gear. And of course there's the nose gear structure. Now it bolts to the engine mount so that the firewall itself doesn't really carry the load. It's transmitted into a real strong part of the airframe that's picked up with the rest of the chromoly tubing. And the nose wheel itself is really strong. It's big, it's got a trailing link, and it's got an oleo damper. So it's really designed to roll over anything, logs, whatever you find in the backcountry. And that was Cub Crafters' absolute design intent. Now performance really benefits from having an IO390 up front. In this case, it's an IO390C, 215 horsepower. Now if you look at the cowling, you can tell they really planned this thing to go slow and to slough off a lot of heat. There's big inlets, big outlets, and more gills than a pool full of sharks. This is a pretty impressive installation that really makes you know that they intended this thing to be hanging on the prop quite a lot. So the rest of the airframe, even though it looks an awful lot like a traditional Cub, is really very modern. It's got obviously metal all inside the wing. It is tube and fabric, so you have fabric on the outside, but that's a tried and true material. It's very light, it's very easily repaired, but it's also bolstered by a lot of carbon fiber, hence the name. So the whole purpose is to try to get weight out of the airplane, and it's a very impressive build. What Cub Crafters has done is taken the best aspects of the X Cub and added a nose wheel without killing any of the performance. And that's really hard to do. It's a really impressive feat. Design, specifications, that's all great, but the real fun of this airplane is in the flying. So join me and Brad Dahm. We're going to go out and do some flying in the NX Cub.
Holy cow!
Hi, clear up your flaps.
Holy crap. Miss a nod?
Yep, pull back, there you go.
Oh, the ailerons are nice. You don't mind a tight pattern?
Yep. It's still a Cub despite the nose wheel.
Still got to get the sight picture down. The nose really drops away in level flight, doesn't it?
Yep.
Oh, the ailerons are beautiful on this thing. Dude, you guys have worked really hard on that.
So normal landing in the airplane is going to be all 3 notches of flaps, and you're just going to land it in a tail wheel 3-point attitude.
Okay.
Set the mains down first. As soon as the nose wheel is on the ground, you can be as aggressive as on the braking as you want.
Okay.
2 X-ray Charlie, runway 27 cleared, touch and go.
Give me the speed again that you like for final.
So I would fly the approach at 60 miles an hour. The stall warning horn will start chirping at you in this airplane about 46.
Okay.
And the airplane won't stall until about 35 indicated, so you still have lots of margin there.
Okay, so 60 on the approach. Going to full.
500.
A lot of drag. Love that. Okay, on glide slope, correcting to 60. It does want a lot of power, doesn't it?
Yeah, with that 3rd notch of flaps in, it certainly does.
It really does. All right, we're made.
Yep, so just start pitching up and slowing down. Looking great. And then brake.
Two.
1 for takeoff.
1 for takeoff. Okay, ready to go?
A little different takeoff this time.
Okay, ready?
Yep, go.
The airplane's really yaw stable. I mean, I don't know how you feel back there, but I'm not dogging the rudder pedals.
Yeah, one of the things you'll notice with the X Cub different than any other Cub is it's got a bit more of a dorsal fin back there,
Ah, yeah.
and that gives more yaw stability,
Yep.
which we especially needed at higher speeds.
Yep.
You know, a Cub at 150, 160 miles an hour tends to shake its...
Yeah. This thing feels really comfortable at 60. So this is our good approach speed with full flaps, but I wouldn't hesitate just to go loiter at 60.
Yep, if I'm, you know, out spotting wildlife in the airplane or looking at something on the ground, 60 to 70 miles an hour is about perfect for that.
Yep.
Still got lots of reserve energy in the airplane. You're nowhere close to stall.
Yep.
And if you shoved everything forward right now, you would be amazed at how quick the airplane accelerates and starts to climb again. Let me show you what a stall looks like.
All right, you got the
Airplane?
airplane. You have the airplane.
All right, pick up some speed here, and then we're gonna have to pitch it up about like this, and hold this pitch attitude. Break a stall.
There we go.
And then it's just relax the stick pressure, and the airplane goes back to flying.
Wow.
Once again, it's a big nothing burger. It looks more exciting than it actually is.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, where's our grass strip?
So 180 degrees back the opposite direction. It won't be obvious until we get there because it's really just a dirt strip between a couple orchards. So why don't you put everything in?
All the way?
All the way. And pick up some speed. And let's get us up into the yellow. And then just try the ailerons fast. It's somewhere up in the yellow. And then just do a couple turns.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, you'd seriously be both hands on the stick. That's 146 miles an hour. Really nice. So, no offense to you, but I don't think you really have to sell these airplanes very hard, do you?
No. It's an airplane that, you know, from the sales perspective, my biggest job is to get customers in the cockpit,
Yeah.
and then the experience sells the airplane.
Yep.
So this is our strip right down here.
Nice.
And like I said, it's just one of these local little dirt farmer strips that we've got permission to use.
Yep. Right here, huh? This good little guy? Okay.
And just that same technique that we used at the big runway. You've got the strip made now. I'd reduce power a little bit. Power all the way back to idle.
Yep, we're there.
Start pitching up. And you could just lock up the brakes if you want to. Literally just.
Oh my God, that's great.
Why don't you take us off and get us up and airborne, and then let me come and do a landing from the backseat.
Okay, sounds good. I'm going to power up a little bit, then release the brakes. That is just nothing. That is ridiculous, you know that? Yeah, you know that.
Everybody gets out of this airplane with a big smile.
That's just ridiculous performance.
All right, why don't you let me have it?
You got the airplane.
All right.
Let me know what you want for flaps.
We're good for now.
A 2?
Yep. All right, go ahead and give me that in the last notch of flaps. A little slip here to
Lose some altitude, yeah, there we go, nice. Okay, point taken. Okay.
your airplane.
All right. 2 notches, 1 notch for takeoff, right? 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the brakes totally locked up.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Wow, it gains altitude so quickly.
So that strip is 600 feet long, and we were able to land, me land, then you take off in about half of it.
Yeah.
And it's a non-event. I mean, this is your first time flying the airplane.
Yeah. Absolutely nothing to it. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was fun. Now, admittedly, $400,000 is a lot of money for an airplane, but at least the NX Cub is really beautifully built, it's nicely designed, and it can go anywhere the tail dragger version will go with tons of performance. Now, you really just have to talk yourself through the nose wheel versus tail wheel version. Now, definitely if you're a new pilot or if you just got your tail wheel endorsement, the nose wheel version of this airplane is going to be a lot cheaper to insure. And it will give you all the peace of mind of a nose wheel airplane, but go anywhere the tail dragger will go. And that's a really important thing. So I think what Cub Crafters is proving here is that you really can specifically build a nose wheel airplane for really rough country flying and have it be a success. I hope you enjoyed this review. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.